Hey you guys, I am just coming to you from my webcam, so the quality is not going to be as awesome, but I just wanted to jump in and add to the discussion or to my class about confidence, and I thought it would be interesting to tell you the story of EmmaKisstina and what that means to me and how it has to deal with confidence, because that story is actually, I hope, inspiring to you. So after high school, I went to college and I got a full, excuse me, I had a full scholarship to go to a state school in Florida. That's where I was living at the time. And I decided to go to, uh, I applied to go to a nice art school, and I, never mind, whatever. I went to a state school for art and I was paid 100% by this scholarship, so I went for free. I thought that that was incredible. I would be debt free after college and I could study art like I wanted to do. And that was the only thing that I thought that I was good at. The school was, of course, more traditional art program. It wasn't illustration like I was actually interested in. I had applied to another school that had an illustration program, but that costs like $26,000 a year, which is insane. So being debt free or paying $26,000 a year for 4 years or however long the program was, it was pretty easy for me to choose. So anyway, so I took the traditional art and I did oil painting and charcoal drawing, and I would say, uh, what's it called, honed my skills in traditional media. So I learned all that kind of stuff. I was really confident in how to draw and things like that. But then when it came to finding my style, that was so difficult for me. And also at art school, people are quite weird. I would say there's like the traditional weirdos walking around in all black clothing talking about oh, that's like the cool music that they listen to, and that their art is so cool. And I've never been that kind of person. I've always liked bright colors and I'm quite chipper. And I giggle a lot. I'm quite girly. I did ballet also at this time and my whole life. So I should have just been myself, but I wanted to fit in, which is, I think that's a part of growing up. And for most people, I I was still myself, but to a point. Like with my art, I didn't dare figure out what I really truly wanted to work on and draw. It's like girly stuff because I didn't want to be an airhead. I didn't want to be seen as that stupid girl who's drawing lipsticks or something. So I had a phase in my thesis was actually I drew these little um, blobby people all over maps and things, and it was kind of to show population. I don't know. I don't have any examples of that because it's so not a part of what I did. My parents, their entire apartment is decked out in all these paintings that I did at that time, which is really sweet, but sure. Okay, and then after that, I had like a nose phase. So I had a period of time where I just drew tons of noses. I had a whole notebook just full of noses. Oh, I should show you. I have one painting from that period. Whoops. Here we go. I recreated the girl with the pearl earring, but I just painted a nose instead of her face. Now, I am pretty impressed with my skills of painting. I was very comfortable painting, but finding subjects to paint, like after graduating art school, and this is like what I could show, I realized that I wasn't going to make any money as a commercial artist drawing nose people. So I had to figure something out after school, or the day of graduating. I was like, what the heck do I do with this art degree now? I should have done something else. I was regrets. But anyways, I continued to work on my art for a while, doing weird stuff, testing out stuff. I think that's super important that you test out different things. And yeah, but then finally, when I was out on my own, I wasn't around tons of peers, wasn't being judged by art people and all that jazz, and not trying to be something that I'm not, trying to be like this credible artist. I decided I wanted to be more commercial. I wanted to be able to sell my illustrations to magazines and books and all this stuff and products. So I discovered Etsy, and I started looking at other people and their illustration styles, and it was more simple. So I just decided to do in my favorite medium, which was just black outlines on paper. And then I discovered that you could digitally color it. So I learned all this stuff by myself to digitally color things in Photoshop. So that's what I started doing. And then I finally just like gave up on the noses and my little weird bloppy people and trying to do weird stuff. And I was opening up my Vogue magazines that I always bought because I was inspired by fashion at that time, not so much anymore, but at the time I thought it was so beautiful, all these clothes and iconic perfume bottles. So I started illustrating those things, and then just my style finally emerged, I would say. So then EmmaKisstina created. My name is Christina Emma. So when I was creating a brand name, I wanted to use my name because Christina Hultkrantz, nobody can say that. It's been a struggle my whole life, my last name. So I knew that I didn't want that as my web address because nobody can spell it. So my mom, she always wanted me to be called EmmaKisstina because she thinks that it sounds better. And so I decided to have EmmaKisstina, and I changed out Christina to Kisstina just to make it cuter. And so I found that EmmaKisstina became my girly alter ego, and I felt more empowered by that because I could be behind my EmmaKisstina shield, I guess. So that was more, I could be myself finally. And that's my story. I tried to keep it short and snappy, but I think you get it. And I think that, if I had figured that out earlier on, I think it would have been more exciting. But I think you also need to have these periods of time where you're doing lots of crappy work. And then finally, when you find that your style and you find what you're doing and you look back at all the work that you did before, it really stands out to you that it really is your work. So hopefully it doesn't take for you 5 years. Maybe it just takes 1 year of working and figuring out your style and what you like. But I hope that you can find it one day and you can be true to yourself and all that stuff. Okay. Bye.